Welcome to TYT Sports,
Thanks.
the whitest show on YouTube. Michael Shure, Ben Mankiewicz, and Rick Strom. You know,
Hey,
I noticed
it's not the whitest whitest show on YouTube.
It's not.
No.
What is?
Not this. It's not.
Okay. Ben, hi.
Jason.
Thanks for joining us. Sure. Don't insult Jason. So Odell Beckham had some really interesting ways of celebrating a touchdown, mainly
sudden,
with the first one.
The whitest show on YouTube. First thing you say, Odell Beckham. Boom, it's over.
Thank you, Michael.
I told you.
So when he scored his first touchdown, he had two. When he scored his first touchdown, he lifted his leg and peed like a dog. Yet the New York media had a field day with this, as Gary Myers wrote a headline saying, Odell Beckham Jr. refuses to grow up as the Giants star receiver is immature as ever.
That's a long headline. It's quite a headline.
It is a very long headline. Yeah, it's 4 lines.
Yeah.
So here's what he wrote, guys, and I want to get your opinion on this. Tales of him as an Odell growing up this year turned out to be just fairy tales. He cares about scoring touchdowns and then making a spectacle of himself, fully aware of the consequences to his team, but not caring. From his fight with Josh Norman, to his romance with the kicking net, to his skirmish with Xavier Rhodes, to being captain of the SS playoff meltdown on the water in Florida. That one was okay. And the freezing cold of Green Bay, he has just not learned. He doesn't want to learn. Ben Mankiewicz, when you hear this, your reaction is what, sir?
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the opinions about it. I don't care. I think it's okay. He got penalized. I imagine his coach will be on him. It's silly. I don't know why a dog urinating is so much worse than any other number of things. What I am mostly struck by is the fact that this is the world we live in, and it's behavior that's a little similar to Donald Trump, is that you have publicly bad behavior, similar to a zillion reality stars, and it gets rewarded. In the immediacy, it gets condemned. Gary, I'm sure Odell Beckham is devastated that Gary Myers, it is?
Gary Myers.
Gary Myers.
New York Daily
News.
News.
A scathing column about him in the New York Daily News. And he got penalized 15 yards, which,
he did.
Bob McAdoo, whose name isn't Bob McAdoo, is, will, I'm sure, castigate him strongly for.
When asked about it in the post-game press conference, he just said, next question.
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk about it.
So, but bad behavior gets rewarded. Now we're talking about it. I'm not saying we shouldn't be, but everybody's going to be talking about it. You do stuff like this, it gets attention. You yell the loudest, you complain the most. The right wing's been doing it for 35 years. You complain, you get coverage, you get people. It's another example of one of the significant things that is wrong with this country. That instead of us going, ugh, Odell Beckham, why are you urinating like a dog, and moving on, we're going to talk about it. And he's going to get headlines, and he's going to be able to be defensive about it and angry about it, and say that and we'll focus on it again, and somebody else will do something more outrageous.
It's the LeVar Ball model of going about it.
That's right.
Where you're just trying to grab headlines, be as ridiculous as you possibly can. Except Odell didn't do it with his words. He just urinated like a dog.
So let me just tell a quick LeVar Ball story. I was the MC, the host of the Salvation Army Sally Awards. They're awards they give to Hollywood, right? Sort of because the Salvation Army's long been connected to Hollywood, and it was a great night, and I was honored to be asked.
I always thought they were these salivas.
So one of the great gifts being given away at auction was like 7 or 8 tickets and a suite at the Laker game, right? And that's so awesome. I throw in, I'm like, and for the most obvious joke ever, I'm like, hey, look, for $1,000 more on top of your bid, LeVar Ball will watch the game with you in a suite. And for $2,000 more, he won't. right? And it didn't go over great. Just because I don't think LeVar Ball has penetrated that world quite enough. Yeah.
Well, also the thing about this, in several, further to what Ben said, 7 months, some sportscaster is going to be doing an anchor desk will be looking back at the season. They'll show this, everyone will laugh,
right?
And it'll
turn into a joke, right?
Exactly, and it'll be part of highlight reels and looking back, and they'll come back from the tape, and everyone at the desk will laugh. It's stupid. I mean, but it's no more, like, I agree with Ben. It's no more stupid than anything anybody else has ever done. It's just this pervasive idea that we have to entertain beyond that. Right. And I mean, listen, when Billy White Shoes Johnson was doing his dances in the end zone,
people didn't like that either.
People didn't like that. I thought that was kind of fun.
No, in hindsight, that was great. I mean, that was wonderful and expressive. Yeah.
Right, but this is today's wonderful and expressive, right?
Maybe
I mean, peeing on the Eagles' end zone is
It's so stupid. It
So
doesn't matter.
stupid. Right, I mean,
And the
that's
fact
what-
is, and what we ought to be talking about with Odell Beckham, the proper thing to be talking about is what we I'm sure will talk about is the fact that after 2 relatively quiet, well, 1 week where he didn't play and then a quiet week, he damn near almost single-handedly gave.
Literally single.
Yeah, right. I mean, those were 2. I'm not even sure the first catch wasn't better than the second catch, which was so dramatic because the first catch, there's no way he was not going to be out of the end zone. I mean, I didn't even need to see a replay. I was so sure he was out of the end zone, and then it turned out no.
Right.
No, I mean he is a singular talent.
And it's a real dilemma if you're a Giants fan too, because you have there is a dilemma in sports now, which is when a player who's really great and is on your team is an idiot. What do you do? I had that with Terrell Owens.
Right, I was just
when I
gonna
was
say.
with the 49ers. He was unbelievable receiver when he was playing for the 49ers. Just fantastic on a team that was good but not unbelievable. And he made quarterbacks who were not necessarily that great. Jeff Garcia, I'm thinking of, who's a good quarterback but not a great quarterback, made them look really good. But he did this dumb stuff all the time. So it's like, oh, why are you doing it? I just want to like you, Terrell.
Yeah.
Just to get it on the record here, because I was going to look up the 49ers quarterbacks, but at the end of the day, who gives a shit? With Odell Beckham, with the New York Giants, mainly with Eli Manning.
Are you up to Ken Dorsey yet?
I am not, but I can be.
Okay.
How do we feel about Eli Manning? Just to get it on the record here. I don't remember either one of your thoughts. Like, not going to win you games, not going to lose you games.
He's a quarterback who's on the waning years of a really good quarterback in the waning years of his career, and this is what happens to those
He's
people.
going to the Giants Hall of Fame. He's going to play 15 years at least, right?
2 Super Bowl
Two
MVPs,
Super Bowl
2
wins.
Super Bowls. I mean, I think
one of them was, spectacularly lucky, thanks to David Tyrell. But that's David Tyree, excuse me. But that's how the NFL, that's the
David
nature.
Tyrell. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
That's the nature of the nature of sports, and certainly the nature of the NFL. And
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Eli Manning?
yes,
In the NFL, yeah, probably. If you're a baseball player, no.
because he hasn't really played baseball.
Yeah, he hasn't played baseball. It would be ridiculous to put him in the Hall of Fame.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I second that. Okay, moving forward.
Be 30ing it at this point.
But also real quick about Eli Manning, I think what we're seeing too is with the Giants' porous offensive line, going to be very tricky for a quarterback like Eli Manning, because he cannot move. The Giants' offensive line puts more pressure on Eli Manning than they would on a quarterback like I don't know, Colin Kaepernick.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Geno Smith is also the backup there, right? So I mean, he's an intriguing option for him because he's a little bit more mobile. Anybody's more mobile than Eli Manning, but that's a big.
But
they're
right
not
now,
going to go to him. Obviously, I'm just saying that type of quarterback for the Giants might be better with a bad line. That's usually what happens.
If Geno Smith were better.
Right? Yeah, no, Geno Smith's not good. I mean, Geno Smith is
today is
Case
not
Keenum.
Today is not the day to talk about replacing Eli Manning because they put up 24 points on 3 touchdowns
And lost on a 61-yard field.
Basically in a quarter.
Right.